Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, a.k.a. MAZUMA TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great start to your weekend. Hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We're going to be speaking about Subriel Matias and Dalton Smith's weigh-in, my reaction to the whole thing, the body language, so on and so forth. We're going to speak about Oscar De La Hoya finally exposing his plan to duck Jaron, Ennis, and how Jaron, Ennis, and Josh Kelly may be likely to face each other or have a probability of facing each other in 2026. But before we get into that, if y'all could please hit the like button on the way in, that'd be very much appreciated. Like I've been saying, and I put out 2 videos out today, man. Go check it out. Spoke about the Devin Haney, Lewis Crocker, Eddie Hearn situation along with the IBF. Also put out another video speaking about my final prediction going into the fight with Subriel Matias and Dalton Smith. Please check it out. You know what I mean? Hit the likes. If you're capable of sharing the video on your social media platforms, that'd be very much appreciated. We on a mission, y'all. And I appreciate everybody that's been consistently supporting the channel. So this is going to be a fun live, man. I ain't going to lie. I've just been sitting back, just waiting to see exactly what was going on, man. And you know, like how, and this is for my experienced boxing fans, my experienced, hardcore boxing fans and stuff like that. You ever notice, like, when a fight, like a bullshit decision is gonna come whenever it takes long as shit for the judges to get the scorecards together? You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how I've been feeling, waiting for some type of update or progress with the Vergil Ortiz, Jaron in this fight. You see what I'm saying? That's exactly how this has been feeling. And I'm like, damn, why are they taking so long? They both available. They both said they want to fight each other. What exactly is going on? And I'm pointing fingers, while I'm waiting, I'm pointing fingers that it can't be the zone. It can't be Eddie Hearn. It can't be Jaron Ennis. It has to be Oscar De La Hoya's team. And I ain't going to lie, I was sitting here thinking it's not even Oscar, it's Rick Morigian. And I'm like, yo, it got to be Rick Morigian. Like, it got to be him. It can't be Oscar. Like, I gave Oscar the benefit of the doubt, but goddamn, after this video that he just dropped about a half hour ago, 30, 40 minutes ago, this shit explains it all. You see what I'm saying? This shit explains it all. And this video right here solidifies the point I've been making this whole time in terms of Vergil Ortiz being held back by the people who conduct his business. I personally feel like if you put Vergil Ortiz in a Matchroom stable, if you put Vergil Ortiz as a PBC fighter, anywhere else, or a Riyadh Caesar fighter, ring ambassador, any one of those promotional companies or networks, whoever that he would have been affiliated with, he would have gotten much further with those guys, or at least been in bigger fights with those guys. I've been telling you guys from the very beginning that Oscar De La Hoya and his team, Golden Boy, they've done a huge disservice to Vergil Ortiz in his career thus far. There's no reason why Vergil Ortiz has not fought for a world title. There's no reason why Vergil Ortiz is not a world champion. Fought for a world title, minimum. You see what I'm saying? This shit just shows you what Golden Boy is about. They're not about the best fighting the best. They're about stringing their fighters along, having them fight nobodies, having them fight unnotable names, avoiding the best fights possible. Anything that's remotely risky to them, that's why them and the Schofields get along so well. That's exactly why they was able to collab. They've been able to do business together, and you know what I mean? They signed an extension because they're on the same type of time, man. They front like they like to associate their names with other big names, but don't intend on fighting them. You see what I mean? And with Vergil Ortiz sitting back in these interviews talking about how he's hands off with the business, that's the exact reason why you're not going to be able to accomplish the shit that you want to accomplish in your career, because you got people behind you that don't believe in you and give you and do huge disservices towards your career. Shit that could really take your career to the next level, they're holding you back from. They keeping the training wheels on you when you genuinely feel like like I've been riding this motherfucking bicycle for years now. Why do I still have the training wheels on when I'm fully capable of balancing myself and taking a ride wherever I wish? Golden boys like that overprotective parent that got their kids wearing like knee braces, like knee pads, and shin pads, and elbow pads, helmets, just for them to ride a bike in their backyard. This is the same shit that I'm seeing, bro. So not to be too long drawn out, man. I think we just gonna get straight into this shit, man. We can talk about the Subriel Matias weigh-in, and we could talk about Boots and Josh Kelly possibly fighting each other in 2026. We gonna get straight into this shit, y'all. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Y'all go ahead and hit the likes, y'all. We gonna break this. We gonna peel this shit back. Pause. Layer by motherfucking layer, man. I didn't even get to shout out everybody that's in the comments. Shout out to my boy Justin Jackson with the first comment of the day. Salute, brother. I appreciate you coming through and showing love. That's my guy right there. I fuck with Justin Jackson. King of Brooklyn, always showing love, man. What up? Shout out to my Brooklyn people. You know what I mean? Shout out to my Kings County people. My pop from Coney Island. Shout out to Coney Island. My father also in Puerto Rico right now, man. I hope if he's watching that you having a great start to your vacation, Pop. Well deserved, man. I love you, man. Yasir Ali, what up? Lorenzo and a motherfucking Benzo showing love from Japan. That's my brother right there. Coffee Plant. What up, brother? You been in the building lately, man. Shout out to my boy Coffee. I was getting a little worried, man. I thought he was falling off with the nation. My boy Junior in the building. What up? Young T USA, what's going on, brother? Befanuel, what up? What up? What's going on? What's going on? Young T definitely cooking in the chat. I see you, brother. Agent 86, Dangerous Desired Bullies, Desires Bullies, plural. Sorry. My boy Young T said this duck is Mount Rushmore. I never seen nothing like this. There's been a lot of fuckery in the sport of boxing, a lot of ducking, a lot of bullshit, but this is embarrassing, man. This is embarrassing, man. So if y'all don't know what we talking about, this is fairly new. Like I said, this video had just dropped about, let me see, a little less than an hour ago. Let me see. Let me refresh and see how long it's been. Yeah, it's been about an hour. It's been about an hour since Oscar De La Hoya dropped this video, man. I was putting my son to I was laying in bed with my son. He was already asleep and shit like that, but I was laying back with my son and I'm about to get things set up for the live and shit like that, go over some things, and boom, the video drops. I said, okay, Oscar did another clap back Thursday. Okay, let's see what he talking about. Whole time is just, in reality, is him just venting. You know what I mean? He's frustrated about something, and he just wanted to get this shit off his chest. You feel what I'm saying? But let me see, man. I'm not sharing the screen because Oscar got some weird shit going on right here. He's showing like his other posts, and there's one of him when he just like butt ass naked. I'm not with none of that. That's that weirdo shit, cuz we don't do that. All right, so we gonna rock with this video right here. I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen. I'm gonna share the screen. If y'all ain't see the video, we gonna check it out, and I want to know what y'all think in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all thinking. What's y'all opinions? Cause that boy Young T USA going off in the comments. Shout out to the boy. Hold on. How can I put this back to the beginning or what? But let me see. Somebody probably already posted it on YouTube or whatever. But it's not. I don't think it's gonna allow me to let this shit play. All right. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna let y'all hear this.
Look, we have a lot of great matchups to be made as the U.S. top promoters. So I'm looking to keep the fights here in the U.S.
Hold on, my fault, y'all. Hold on, because that weird ass thumbnail is in the background. And I'm not fucking with it, bro. I don't know why they doing this. I don't understand. All right. Young T definitely not playing with Oscar, but I fuck with the energy, bro. sound like the nigga just keeping it 1,000. But let me share it again.
Details will be announced on.
All right, let's hear what Oscar got to say. Yeah, because you know he be on goofy shit. What the fuck is going on? See what I'm saying? Like he just gotta be weird.
Yo, what's up, guys? Happy New Year, man. I've been busy this week finalizing the Ryan Garcia Barrios fight, and details will be announced on Monday. I'm really excited to be working with PBC and Al Heyman. Look, we have a lot of great
Yo, like, so this whole time, Ryan Garcia sitting here promoting the fight, the shit not even done. Like, they supposed to be fighting February 21st. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is like, oh, he ain't training right now. He not really taking training serious because, I mean, the fight ain't made. But I'm like, but he got a date on his bio, so it got to be made. The whole time, Oscar's just finalizing this shit. You just finalizing this shit, bro. And you literally got, what, February 9th? I don't even know. Let me see. Damn, niggas got all my business on here. Shit. All right. Shit. So it's literally February 9th. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 weeks? 6 weeks in a day, brother. Damn. Don't be making that excuse. I only had 5 weeks to train with Derrick James. All right. All right, don't make that same mistake again. The Barrios put belt to ass. But anyways, let's go.
Matchups to be made as the U.S. top promoters. So I'm looking to keep the fights here in the U.S. In the meantime, Eddie Hearn is begging the media for this Boots and Virgil Ortiz fight. It's so stupid as a promoter to pigeonhole your fighter into one opponent. You lose your negotiating power, which ends up being a lot of lost money for your fighter.
What do you mean you lose negotiation power by focusing in on one fight? Did Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence lose negotiation power when they locked in on each other for a fight back in 2023, or did they both make their career high paydays? When Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather finally ran into each other at that basketball game and decided to, you know, set their sights on one fight, did they lose negotiation power, or did they make 9 figures each? It's a simple question. When Canelo Alvarez and Triple G set their sights on fighting each other and wasn't worried about fighting nobody else, did they lose negotiation power? You was a part of it, Oscar. You tell us. That shit doesn't make any sense to me. Now, why wouldn't Eddie Hearn want that fight? You see what I'm saying? Stylistically, he understands that his fighter has a lot of things going into the fight that benefits him, so he feels confident in his fighter. Virgil Ortiz is a big name at 154, and what's most important is that all the other champions are occupied. Nigga, the fuck is you talking about? What you mean pigeonhole your fighters and just be locked in on one fight? Bro, there's literally no other big fights to make because 2 out of the 4 champions in the division, they're fighting each other January 31st. You got Sebastian Fundora about to lock in with Keith Thurman. They about to give us a new date soon. And Bakr Murtazaliev is about to fight Josh Kelly. So I posed the question, what other big fight is there for the 2 of these guys? Let's hear what else Oscar got to say.
Also, every time a manager tries to be a hero and negotiate behind the promoter's back, they lose money for the fighter. And at the same time, violate the Muhammad Ali Act. And you know what? I'm going to start sending legal letters enforcing this because I'm fucking tired of it.
Yo, so this shit right here is the part that had me laughing because how the way I decipher this, how the way I look at this, he's literally snapping on Rick Meridian because Rick Meridian is actually trying to make the fight happen while Oscar doesn't want it to happen. So he's like, bro, why the fuck are you trying to make this fight when we don't want this fight? Why are you going behind my back to try to negotiate with these networks to get the fight done? That's not the fight that I want for Virgil. You stepping on my toes, so now I'm going to have my lawyer send you a letter because you're getting out of pocket. That's exactly how I interpret this. You're out of pocket. You're doing shit that's not that we're not comfortable with following through with. You know what I'm saying? We want to get these. We don't want to fight Jaron in this right away. You see what I'm saying? But here you go, trying to make the fucking fight happen. How about this, Oscar, you fucking dickhead? It seems like everybody is on board except you. You see what I'm saying? Virgil wants to fight. Rick Meridian, you know, with the price being right, he will follow through with that fight as well because they understand that there's no other big fight that's available at this point in time besides Jaron Ennis. So why wouldn't they explore that option? You see what I'm saying? What are we even talking about? Why are you so upset that a manager is doing a manager's job, and that is to try to get the biggest paying fights possible for their guy? Not only because it benefits the fighter, but because it also benefits themselves. They get a percentage of that. They got to justify that percentage that they're getting, right? So part of justifying that percentage they're getting is making sure that they are doing big business deals. You see what I'm saying? So Oscar is so terrified of locking in this fight. This motherfucker is threatening to take legal action against his own fighter's manager for trying to make a big fight happen. So I'm gonna just say this, right? Even though I do feel like Rick Meridian is being a bit tough with negotiations and shit like that, I'm gonna apologize to you, brother. Because I thought it was you that didn't want the fight. I thought you were the one who wasn't optimistic in making the fight happen. Whole time, you're cool with making the fight. It just got to be for a good amount of money, which is what a manager is supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? Now, the only one who isn't expressing interest out of everybody that's at the table, it is this guy right here. And he's letting you know that, and he's trying to make it seem like Rick Meridian is a piece of shit or he's doing something grimy just for trying to service his guy. You see what I mean? Somebody by the name of EMS in the building says, in Oscar's view, Boots ain't nobody in the division. Boots hasn't earned the right to face Virgil in the division. So if Eddie Hearn really wants to fight, he's going to have to take a hit money-wise. Well, if that's Oscar's view, brother, that shit makes absolutely zero sense because who the fuck is Virgil? As far as I'm concerned, they both have smaller versions of world titles. You know what I'm saying? From what I understand, Boots got the WBA interim or some shit like that, WBA regular, whatever you want to call it. And then, Virgil Ortiz has a WBC interim. You know what I'm saying? So as far as I'm concerned, in terms of, positions in the division, they had the same spot. You see what I mean? Virgil may have faced, more sturdy opposition than Boots has, but Boots has only had one fight in the division. Let's be honest. Like we got one fight over here, and then Virgil has like 4 fights at this point, right? Yeah, Frederick lost and Thomas Delorme, not in that order, I believe. And then, fucking Israel Madrimov, Bohachuk, and then no, he actually has 5 fights at 154 pounds. So yeah, you may have more experience in the division, but with those 5 fights, Boots was able to get on the same level as you with 1 fight. You're not this fucking bona fide world champion. You actually never won a world title. And you also can't say, Boots has to earn the right to face Virgil. Virgil ain't nobody. He ain't no huge ticket selling ass motherfucker. He ain't no huge name that just supersedes the boxing world. No. He's none of that. He's none of that. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you really want to take it there, if you really, really want to take it there, Boots is the bigger draw than Virgil. And I don't even care to talk about that type of shit. That's irrelevant to me because as a talking from the boxing fan's perspective, the only thing I give a fuck about, I don't even give a fuck how much they get paid. If Boots only wants $10 for this fight, then fuck it. If that's what he feels like he's worth for that fight, go ahead, give him the $10. Whatever the fuck. You see what that's none of my concern. I'm not the businessman in this situation, right? What I care is about these fights being made. So I don't care to flex who's the ace out, but if you're just looking at the numbers, which are public information, Boots is the bigger draw. So you can't be sitting here flexing like, oh, Boots has to earn his way. They're both basically interim champions in the division. They're both not lined up with any bigger fights right now. They're both available. Like, what the fuck is the problem? Why the motherfucker got to sit around and earn it? Because y'all said that y'all offered Boots to fight 2 times and he walked away from it. Obviously, he was worth it then, right? He was fucking worth the fight then. But now he's not. Now he's not. Oh, because y'all niggas got options. Let's hear what Oscar says is these options.
Some managers are just full of shit, and I will be exposing them. Trust me. Look, Virgil can fight 2 or 3 different guys in
2 or 3 different guys. Okay, let's hear it.
Mega fights. He's got options. Imagine him with Errol Spence at Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
Yo, Oscar said that with a straight face. Yo, this nigga said with a straight face. How about Virgil versus Errol Spence at Dallas Cowboys Stadium? That's a big fight. Fuck. Oscar, if you don't get the fuck out, bro, get the fuck out our face with that dumb shit, you stupid motherfucker. This is exactly why you had blocked me on social media not too long ago, because every time you say some stupid shit, here I come pointing out the obvious to make you feel dumb. You get insecure and then you just want to block motherfuckers because you don't want to deal with accountability. Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Errol Spence hasn't been in boxing, and I love Errol Spence. I love Errol Spence, y'all. Let's not get that misconstrued, but the last time we seen him, the motherfucker lost like a chunk of his life in that ring. You see what I'm saying? What are you talking about, Errol Spence? So you want to fight Errol Spence coming off of a multi-year layoff, a brutal knockout loss, and hasn't even, he tried to come back a couple times. They said he was going to come back to face Jamel Charlo. They said he's going to come back to face Sebastian Fundora. But the last time we tapped in with Errol Spence, that nigga said he going to come back to boxing whenever he feel like he ready. I just saw Tony Harrison call him out a couple weeks ago. Like, everybody want to fight Errol Spence when he down and out. That's not a fight that we give a fuck to see, bro. I don't give a fuck how. And it's like, yeah, Dallas, you know what I'm saying? Virgil from Grand Prairie. This motherfucker Errol Spence, he from Dallas, Fort Worth. He from somewhere around there. You know what I'm saying? He from somewhere around there. But regardless, that's not even the point. What I'm trying to tell y'all right now is that, yeah, there might be a fight. That's a local fight. But fuck a local fight, Oscar. Would you rather have a fight that is only popping in Texas, or would you rather have a fight that'll be popping throughout the whole boxing universe? I'm almost willing to bet that if Boots and Virgil were to fight, that shit would either do around the same numbers as Virgil and Spence or surpass it. Not even gonna lie to y'all. I think the hardcore boxing fans will show up for that fight because you got 2 young, undefeated guys. One a former unified champion, another one a fucking top contender in his division, and they both got knockout power. They both exciting styles. They both bring the fight. They both great finishers, great tools. Within their arsenals. It's a great fucking fight. It's a great fight. There's a reason why, and I'm gonna tell y'all this. There's a reason why they want the Virgil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis fight to happen in Vegas, and there's a reason why they only want Errol Spence and Virgil Ortiz to happen in Texas. Because one is only big in Texas, and there's one that's a fucking huge fight, which is where they put all the big fights. They put all the big fights in Las Vegas. That's like the fucking mecca of like huge boxing events. Riyadh trying to take that over, but you look back to the Mike Tyson days and the Floyd Mayweather era and Oscar De La Hoya era. You see what I'm saying? So it's just real funny to me that they're making it seem like Errol Spence and Virgil is in more of a demand than Virgil versus Jaron Ennis. Bro, when's the last time we spoke about Errol Spence in a way where it's like, yo, like he's a bro, we haven't spoke. We ain't talked about the nigga in 2 years. Boxing has moved past Errol. A lot of people have accepted the fact that he may very well be retired. They're not even speaking about him. A lot of niggas, when they talk about Errol, they talk about him in the past tense. And that's what you're supposed to do when a nigga take a multi-year layoff. They're not around no more. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. So let's carry on.
Or Sebastian Fundora in a mega fight.
Sebastian Fundora is unavailable right now, brother. Sebastian Fundora is unavailable. Then this motherfucker pull out that Keith Thurman fight with an injury or some shit like that. Ain't he coming back to face Keith Thurman? They don't even got a date yet. So you gonna sit back and wait the first quarter or two of 2026 and just hope that Sebastian Fundora beats Thurman? Then you gonna sit around and wait for an opportunity? Miss me with the bullshit, bro. Sebastian Fundora is unavailable right now. Y'all looking to come back at the top of 2026. There's only one option standing there.
In Vegas. Boots is part of the plan, but it doesn't have to be next. But
that boy Oscar trying to make it sound so cool that he don't want no smoke. He trying to make it sound so like he trying to act like what he's saying sounds reasonable, that it just sounds so practical. Oh no, we could take, he said 2 to 3 fights, but only mentioned 2, and the both of them are bullshit. Oh, we could take 2 or 3 fights. Okay, you didn't even name 3 fights. You only named 2. You mentioned Sebastian Fundora. You mentioned Errol Spence. One motherfucker ain't been around in years. The other one, he coming off of an injury, and they made it clear. Keith Thurman even said it on Inside the Ring with Max Kellerman and them, that they're about to get a new date soon for their fight. So Sebastian not worried about Virgil right now. Y'all know that too. That's the crazy part. Y'all know that. Y'all know what Fundora about to do. But y'all making it seem like that fight takes priority over Boots right now. Guess what? It don't. Because Sebastian Fundora, although he is a world champion right now, he's not available. A lot of the key thing to making a fight happen is making sure that the motherfuckers are available to fight. Sebastian Fundora is not available. What are we talking about over here? Just sit back and listen. You see Oscar De La Hoya on the screen. If you need to rewind a little bit, feel free to do that. You feel me? I don't know if you could read the title, but if you read the title, then you will have a great indicator of what we're talking about.
But Eddie, since you're so desperate to make this fight, then let's do this. 60-40 for Virgil and 5% to the winner.
60-40 for Virgil and 5% goes to the winner. 105%. So where does extra 5% coming from, Oscar? You know how to count, or you had another coke binge and you ain't thinking properly? What the fuck is Oscar talking about? 60-40 with 5% going to the winner. So is it 65-35? Like, so what you saying? 60-35? 60-35 and the leftover 5% goes to the winner. Is that what you meant, Oscar? Because you over here trying to sound like you proposed some type of deal the whole time. That shit don't even make sense. The fuck are you talking about? Where does 105% coming from? Yeah, ETC, that would have made a whole lot of sense. See, ETC knows how to count. He understands mathematics, basic mathematics. It's just simple addition and subtraction. It's like, okay, how about 45-45 and 10% go to the winner? Yeah, how about that? But what Oscar tried to do was just flex here. All he did was sound dumb as shit. Because you over here you want Virgil to be the favorite so bad. Virgil's the draw, blah, blah, blah. Whole time we can't have no number suggesting that he's the draw in comparison to Boots. Show me the numbers. Where are the numbers at? Because when motherfuckers like Floyd say they a draw, they got the numbers to back it. When they say Canelo's a draw, they got the numbers to back it. Even Gervonta Davis, when he says he's a draw, they have numbers to back it. Virgil's this fucking draw. Where are the numbers to back it? What are the ticket sales that he's doing? What arenas is he selling out? What's the Gates doing? Like, this the shit that I want to know. Like, what in your mind tells y'all that Virgil is the draw? So you tried to flex on Boots on some 60-40 shit. And then 5%. Bro, that shit don't even add up. Shut the fuck up. How about you would have sounded a lot smarter if you said, oh, we're going to get 60%. Y'all get 35%. And the winner gets the additional 5 that's left over. That still would have sounded fucking stupid. But at least the math would have added up. So EMS says, so technically Boots has the chance of making 45%, right? He said, so he said 60-40 and whoever loses gives 5 away. Bullies, that's not what Oscar said, though. That's not what Oscar said. That's not what he said at all. It would have made more sense if you would have worded it that way. He said 60-40. I don't even got to say it. We can hear just Oscar.
Because I'm generous and I'm not moving off those numbers.
He's not moving.
You're the one who's begging for this fight. So let's go. Yo, what's up, guys? Happy New Year, man. I've been busy this week finalizing the Ryan Garcia-Barrios fight, and details will be announced on Monday. I'm really excited to be working with PBC and Al Heyman. Look, we have a lot of great matchups to be made as the U.S. top promoters, so I'm looking to keep the fights here in the U.S. In the meantime, Eddie Hearn is begging the media for this Boots and Virgil.
That was a shot at Turkey, too, by the way.
Ortiz fight. It's so stupid as a promoter to pigeonhole your fighter into one opponent. You lose your negotiating power, which ends up being a lot of lost money for your fighter.
So what Oscar's saying is don't want a particular fight. Always have fights that the fans don't want within your reach. Okay. Always have fights available within your reach that nobody wants. So we could just stay undefeated. That's the Oscar De La Hoya formula over at Golden Boy.
Also, every time a manager tries to be a hero and negotiate behind the promoter's back, they lose money for the fighter. And at the same time, violate the Muhammad Ali Act. And you know what? I'm going to start sending legal letters enforcing this because I'm fucking tired of it.
I don't want the fight. And I hate the fact that my fighter's manager is talking to the networks to try to get money for a fight that we don't want. So if you continue to talk to these networks behind my back, I'm gonna have a lawyer send a letter to you stating that you're going against the Muhammad Ali Act. Please don't try to make this fight happen. I don't want it.
Some managers are just full of shit, and I will be exposing them. Trust me.
Look, expose yourself for not wanting to fight with Jaron Ennis, you fucking duck ass nigga. Bro, this is Oscar De La Hoya, bro. Like, Oscar ain't duck no smoke when he was rumbling. For everybody and their mama, he took pride in that. But as a promoter, he's the scariest. They two totally different people. This ain't the Golden Boy that's promoting. This is Oscar. The Oscar's a hoe. Oscar's a hoe ass nigga. One of the scariest promoters in the sport of boxing. That motherfucker won't roll the dice if you put a fucking a cig to his head. The motherfucker won't roll the dice. He talking about managers that's full of shit. If anybody's full of shit, Oscar is you. And that's why everybody been leaving your stupid ass.
Look, Virgil can fight 2 or 3 different guys in mega fights. He's got options. Imagine him with Errol Spence at Dallas Cowboys Stadium or Sebastian Fundora in a mega fight in Vegas. Boots is part of the plan, but it doesn't have to be next. But
bullshit. Bullshit. Don't nobody believe you, brother.
Eddie, since you're so desperate to make this fight, then let's do this. 60-40 for Virgil.
60-40 for Virgil. He said he not budging off these numbers. 60-40 Virgil.
And 5% to the winner. Because I'm generous.
And 5% to the winner.
And I'm not moving off those numbers. You're the one who's begging for this fight. So let's go. Yo, what's up, guys?
Oh man. Yo, Eddie, I really hope you I hope you pull that nigga card, Eddie. Say okay. Say okay. It's all right. My boy Ralph in the building, he said, I've never seen 105% get negotiated. Oscar got some great negotiating power. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That motherfucker out here, that nigga asking for 105% of the purse. That nigga, he negotiating 105% of a deal. I want to know where that extra 5% coming from. Who putting that extra 5% up? He ain't say 60-40 and the winner gets 5% of the other person's purse. That's not what he said at all. Because that would have made sense. Like, oh, all right, so Boo's win. You know what I'm saying? He would get 45%, and Virgil will give motherfucking 55%. But that's not what he said. 60-40 Virgil with 5% going to the winner. I don't know what the fuck he talking about. Yo, Lorenzo Wallen. They almost deserve a timeout. He said that extra 5% stuff in doctor's rectum. Oscar's rectum. Jesus Christ. Holy shit. That's crazy. Probably next to all them them bottle caps that they lost in his booty. You know what I'm saying? All them bottle caps they lost in his bussy, that's where that extra 5% gonna be at. Oscar's a clown, bro. I'm sorry. Like, this dude, he crazy, bro. So you over here so this is what's funny too. How about when he was trying to shit on Terrence Crawford? He only beat 2 fighters. And you only gave him credit for the 2 fighters, Errol Spence and Canelo Alvarez. But you want Virgil to fight a nigga who, one of the 2 guys that Crawford beat, who hasn't fought since Crawford beat him. Like, y'all niggas, bro. Y'all be tripping. But that's what Oscar had to say about that, man. This shit just tells me that it's only one person that's the problem in this situation. And from what I heard that deal between the Zone and Golden Boy is about to expire. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true. You know what I mean? Y'all don't take my word for it. You know what I mean? It might be something that's researchable online. You see what I'm saying? But to be real, you know what I mean? If it's a situation where the Zone and Golden Boy are about to split ways or their business relationship is about to be over, this may be the reason why the Zone, you be like, you know what? Fuck Golden Boy. Kick rocks. That's probably why they being so hard on Golden Boy to make this fight happen now that we thinking about it, because they probably like, yo, I mean, we only got a couple months left on this deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, show me something. Like, let's, before y'all walk away, let's get some big fights going for the network. Oscar ain't budging. You know what I mean? So instead of, the Zone considering re-signing these guys to a new network deal, they could probably be like, all right, y'all want to give us the fights that we insisting that you make. All right, fuck y'all then. Y'all can go ahead and get y'all fights popping on Tubi or some shit. You feel me? Like, I don't know. It's a lot of shit going on, but this video right here showed me a whole lot. Showed me about Oscar's mentality going into the fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing the same shit that he tried to do with William Cepeda. Remember when William Cepeda and Oscar and Shakur Stevenson, that fight was in demand and shit like that? And Oscar didn't want to make that fight. He didn't want to make that fight at all. But Turkey Al-Sheikh put money up that Oscar couldn't refuse. You feel what I'm saying? I remember he was like, oh, one thing about Cepeda, he's so badass. Because my guy, William Cepeda is so badass. He's ranked in every sanctioning body. He's ranked in every sanctioning body. That's how badass he is. And nobody will tell us what to do next. The WBC can't tell us what to do next. We're ranked in all 4 sanctions. He over here trying to flex that William Cepeda in some type of power position because he ranked in every sanctioning body. Bro, at the end of the day, you could be ranked in every fucking sanctioning body available. The problem is, y'all motherfuckers ain't a world champion. You see what I'm saying? So when Turkey Al-Sheikh was like, all right, man, enough is enough, dog. Yo, Oscar, take this bread and shut the fuck up. He like, okay. We'll fight Shakur, but only because Turkey gave us a lot of money. You see what I'm saying? That's the type of time that he was on. Oscar also didn't want to make he didn't want to make Canelo versus Arismendi Lara. He didn't want to make Shakur versus Floyd Schofield. He didn't want to make that fight. I know Oscar's so motherfucking glad that the Schofields pulled up out of that fight last minute. What was another fight? It was a few Johns that Oscar was like so pussy to make. Like he did not want to make them fights happen whatsoever. It was a few. Oscar's a very scary promoter, bro. It's like Oscar, he understands. I mean, him being a former fighter, bless you. Oscar being a former fighter, he understands styles. He know what works. He know what doesn't work for his fighter. He understands their strengths, their weaknesses from just watching them. He's an experienced vet. He knows. You see what I mean? And he, after he left Top Rank, he was his own promoter. So he knew what fights were risky, what fights weren't, you know what I'm saying, weren't so much. So, Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. He didn't want that fight neither. Ryan forced his hand. Yup. Bad Boom Balloon said Oscar didn't want Haney versus Ryan too. Absolutely. And he didn't want Ryan versus Rolly too. That's another one. You know what I'm saying? Oscar need to go ahead and just take his funky, big bussy having ass the fuck to the promised land.
You got to come down to the promised land, my nigga. 235 acres. We farming our own chickens, homie. Thousands of chickens, thousands. Running around everywhere, quack, quack, quack. Talk about next level shit, homie.
Need to go ahead, take him up over there, man. You know what I'm saying? Need to take him right over to the promised land. That boy tripping. He need to go where them motherfuckers quack. You heard? That motherfucker need to go where the chickens quack. That motherfucker out here is snorting quack, thinking that that there's bigger fights to make than Virgil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis. That motherfucker's a goofy, bro. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Kid Austin definitely one of them EMS. That's a fact. One of the scariest motherfuckers in boxing. If you a scary fighter, go sign with Golden Boy, bro. They gonna keep you scary. You don't want to take chances, it's okay. If you don't want to take chances, if you want to fight minimal competition, if you want to stay undefeated, just go over with Golden Boy, man. I'm surprised this motherfucker Abel Mendoza ain't signed with Golden Boy. That's one of the scariest motherfuckers. He one of the scariest motherfuckers in boxing. You know what I mean? His opponent selection, he would have been tailor-made for Golden Boy, but goddamn, I don't know why he signed with PBC. They gonna ice him. They gonna ice him off rip. But yeah, man, if you a scary fighter, if you scared of taking chances, like Tank just need to go ahead and sign with Golden Boy. Oscar will get Tank right. Oh my God, Tank will be in motherfucking paradise. That nigga Tank will retire 81-0 on some Kobe shit. Without fighting a single soul. Out his motherfucking mind. Yeah, EMS, I remember that too. See, you tapped in, brother. We right here with it. We right here with it. See, you know what you talking about. He said, remember Oscar said he would not make the Cepeda versus Shakur fight unless Shakur signed with Golden Boy? Yeah. And then Turkey Al-Sheikh dropped that motherfucking bag and he changed his mind. You see what I'm saying? Jordan Sher says Zordo's whole career before Bivol. Yeah. Jaime Munguia's whole career before Canelo. Like, come on, bro. Them motherfuckers got they have a program that they follow over there. That nigga Floyd Schofield revealed the DMs between him and Oscar, and he was like, "We don't need the Shakur fight. No, we don't need the Shakur fight. Why fight Shakur now when I could have you undefeated for 10 years?" Verbatim, that's what he said. If I'm lying, go find it. Go find it. Let me see. Look at this shit right here. Wait. Hold on. I'm trying to find it, yo. I think I see it right here. Ah, look at this shit right here. Let me share the screen. Y'all be thinking I'll be capping. I don't be lying about this shit, bro. One thing I don't lie about is that, and I got in my memory. You can ask the wifey. I ain't got the best memory, but I remember the important shit. I remember the shit that made me feel away, and I remember looking at this. And Floyd Schofield, punk ass daddy, posting on his social media platforms because young boy Kid Austin, he really a kid for real. Yeah, at least he get treated like one because he's not even allowed to run his own social media platforms. He said Shakur Stevenson, stop capping, the fight is still on. Golden Boy already approved our camp budget. Oscar emailed me and said it was on. You can't run from this ass whooping in the new. That aged horribly. But look what Oscar said right here. My man, I seriously believe in your son so much and have love for him. But he's 22, and I know how to make a champ for the next 15 years, not run the risk of getting beat because he had no experience. If you're telling me make it happen, then I will. Happy Thanksgiving and have a blessed day. That's Oscar revealing who he truly is. I know how to make a champ for the next 15 years and not run the risk of getting beat. And how do you not run the risk of getting beat by facing motherfuckers that you know you have the upside against? That's what Floyd Schofield screenshotted. And that was Oscar De La Hoya's response. If you want the fight, like if you really want this fight, I'll make it happen. But you know what I mean? Why run the risk of getting beat when I can keep you undefeated for 15 years? So I thought it was 10 years. The nigga said 15. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. This is the exact play that they doing with Virgil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis right now. Why fight Jaron Ennis when we on the cusp of fighting for a world title? That's what Oscar's saying. That we ain't about to face Boots who might beat the dog shit out of us, and that we got to start all the way back from square one. We interim champions. All we need is the WBC to mandate the fight, and we in for a world title shot. Jaron Ennis, he's in the way. No. But y'all was interested back when Turkey Al-Sheikh offered it. Y'all was all ripping and running around talking about, oh, Booth declined to fight twice. Whole time it sounded like y'all motherfuckers was relieved that that fight with Jaron Ennis ain't happened them last 2 times. Because now that he at y'all doorstep, banging on y'all motherfucking banging in front of y'all crib, trying to get y'all to come outside. Now y'all want to talk about, other shit. You want to bring up other shit. You know what I'm saying? This nigga Oscar is publicly airing out his own fighter's manager because the fighter's manager is trying to get the fight going. And Oscar felt like bull stepping on his toes. He's like, yo, we don't want that fight right now. That's a dangerous fight. We don't want that right now. Stop talking to these networks and giving them the impression that we want the fight because we don't. Nasty work, bro. Nasty work. Crazy as shit. Mardo Taraji says Oscar only gonna sacrifice you if that turkey bag involved because he wasn't trying to let Shakur fight Cepeda either. till the fight was on Riyadh. No, that's a fact. You talking some real shit, Mardo. Yeah, Turkey had to drop that bag in front of Oscar to change his mind. But if it wasn't for Turkey, Shakur would have never got that Williamson Pena fight. And I kind of see why Shakur is rocking with Turkey, because he would have never been able to beat that. He would have never been able to get that fight if it wasn't for him. You know what I'm saying? My boy R3 in the building. Shout out to my boy Southwest Dice. What up, brother? How we feeling? What up? What up? R3 says Oscar clearly has the Spence fight as the priority. They said no to Xander now. Most likely Boots. And it's like, bro, what the fuck do y'all want? Like, I think they just want this world title, like, on a platform, bro. Like, what you mean? What the fuck do you mean Xander Zayas needs to fight y'all in a neutral location in order for the fight to happen? Nigga don't owe you shit. Who the fuck are y'all? The way they was talking, you would have thought Virgil was either the next coming of Floyd in terms of being a star, or you would have thought this nigga was a champion in his own right. He ain't neither one of them. You telling a nigga who's a new champion that he has, like, you over here trying to tell this motherfucker where to make the fight, how to make, bro, fuck y'all. I don't need to fight you. Xander went and flexed on y'all niggas and got a unification fight after y'all turned down the smoke in Puerto Rico. Southwest Dice said, Oscar says 60-40, Boo should call his bluff. That's a fact. I would call his bluff. Eddie needs to call his bluff, because what you doing, because what? Since Oscar put that out publicly, since Eddie Hearn out in New York right now, he need to get on the next fucking interview available tomorrow morning and be like, yo, let's do it. I'm with that. 60-40, you want to give 5%? You know, with 5% of the purse going towards the winner, I agree. Put that in writing. We'll sign that shit ASAP. Watch how Oscar disappear off the motherfucking internet. Watch how he disappear off of the internet. What Oscar's doing right now by putting that out there is he's hoping that he either feels like Eddie Hearn is going to definitively shut that down, or he just feels like that's going to make Eddie Hearn walk away. You know what I mean? Which go hand in hand. He's hoping that that supposed, you know, that low ball is enough to get him up out of this situation. You know what I'm saying? He could be like, oh, because you know what happens if Eddie Hearn is like, all right, well, fuck y'all, then we're gonna move on to the next fight. Oscar gonna be like, oh, well, you know, I sent the offer, they turned it down. And they're gonna make it seem like Boots and them turned down the fight because they didn't accept the 60-40 with the 5% situation, all that bullshit. That's just how the way he works. But if Eddie is like, yo, let's do it, I'll take that. That puts Oscar in a situation where now you have to sign that. You have to. You have to. Fuck it. It is what it is. Boots, apparently he had to take, you know, less money to fight Stanionis. You might have to do the same shit with Virgil. It is what it is. Sometimes you gotta take a step back. You got to take a step backwards to move a couple steps forward. That's how this shit works sometimes. In order to get to the, you know, to a higher point, sometimes you got to sacrifice something. Boots will have to sacrifice a couple dollars. That's what it sounds like to me. I hope Eddie Hearn pull that boy card, bro. I really do. You see what I mean? But very disappointing to hear. Because to be honest, you know, I thought we was gonna hear some type of progress going on. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I see Oscar post something. He said, when he first said he was finalizing something, I'm like, oh shit, is it Boots Virgil? Nope. This nigga said he finalizing Barrios and fucking Ryan. Okay. Cool. Then you say there ain't no fucking update with Boots and Virgil. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Hearn and them desperate for the fight. They begging the media for the fight. It's like you trying to make them sound bad because they adamant about wanting to fight. No, that's them niggas wanting smoke, wanting to give the fans what they want. You're not about to make them look bad for that. If anything, make y'all look bad, because why y'all not begging the media for that fight? Because y'all don't want it. Y'all don't want it as bad. Yeah, Boots need to pick up. I hope Boots see that motherfucking clap back, because he tagged Boots in the title, in the caption too. So of course Boots is gonna see that. Boots need to pick up that phone and tell Eddie, yo, whatever they offering, what 60-40, let's do it. Get it. March, April, yup, sound good. Get it. Now what? Now what? If Oscar say that, and they say yes, we'll take it, and then they proceed with another fight anyway, that's gonna make them look bad. That's gonna make them look bad. That's gonna make them niggas look scary. It's gonna look like they never wanted to fight to begin with. So you telling me they wanted to fight 2 times previously, but they don't want to fight now? Shit don't even make sense. It don't. You trying to spin it in a way where y'all already got options, but y'all clearly don't. Y'all don't got any options, bro. Fundora's not available. Errol Spence, this nigga said he not coming. He gonna come back whenever he feel like he ready. The nigga don't feel like he ready right now. You gonna be the one that's gonna make him feel ready to come back? No, not at all. Negative. But it is what it is, bro. What can we do? Motherfuckers don't want to fight. They don't want to fight. I just hate when motherfuckers be capping and then when they, you know what I mean, when they car get pulled, now they, you know, they you know, the cat got their tongue, you feel me? So it is what it is. So that's all I really had to say about that. My boy Rhea in the building, what up? He said, I think he should take that 60-40. Fuck it. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Pull his card. Pull his card. If you ain't gonna do anything, cuz shit in here. Pull his card, bro. Because I already got the idea that you don't want to fight, right? But you over here trying to flex on us like, oh, you know, if y'all want to fight 60-40, okay, yeah, all right, I got it. Now what? It's gonna put you in this position where it's like, all right, damn, we in a fucked up situation. They accepted that. Now what we gonna do? Because they hoping that he'd be like, no, 50-50. Oscar said he ain't budging on the numbers. He said he ain't budging on the numbers. So if he goes, Eddie Hearn is like, no, we want 50-50. Oscar gonna be like, man, fuck you. We out. That's what they wanted to do the whole time. Put them in a situation where they ain't got no choice but to accept the fight. I hope boxing fans keep putting pressure on Golden Boy. Hope they keep putting pressure on Oscar De La Hoya to make the fight happen, bro. This perspective from Oscar, bro, is disgusting. I ain't gonna lie. It's very much disgusting. You feel me? But shout out to everybody that's in the building. We got 37 people in here. Thank you very much for coming through, tuning in, all that good stuff, man. I think we're going to move on to the next topic. You feel what I'm saying? Let's actually bring this up real quick. Since we're on the topic of Jaron Ennis, Eddie Hearn got this interview that he put together with, what's that? Betfred? I guess that's who that would be. Betfred, I guess. Eddie Hearn does an interview, you know what I mean? Because he's in, you know, since he's in New York right now, supporting his fighter, Dalton Smith, in the Subriel fight that's going to be going down tomorrow night at the Barclays Center. And this is what Eddie Hearn has to say. And just pay attention to what he says, because I do think that this is pretty interesting. This was something that I actually did not know. So let's go ahead and put this up. Let's hear what Eddie has to say.
Jaron Ennis against Virgil Ortiz. We've seen a lot of stuff, mainly from Rick Meridian, recently about that fight. What's the latest? What's the update?
I mean, very mixed signals, if I'm honest. You know, you see Rick Meridian posting, no chance of this fight, we want this, we want that. And then we hear from Golden Boy, who we we enjoy working with, and we trust that, you know, we're making progress and we'll get there and stuff like that. So I don't know is the answer. I mean, we were ready to go after Lima. We're ready to go now, but we'll also make a move for Boots soon. You know, I mean, DAZN have given us our full support. DAZN want the fight desperately, and they've told, that's why we signed, you know, because DAZN told us, we'll give you the fight in October, but you have to sign to fight Ortiz. We did that. Virgil didn't, but they still gave him a fight. And now I think they're putting pressure on, like they'd be putting pressure on us. And, you know, I know Oscar wants to make the best fights, and I just don't see a better fight in boxing than in American boxing than Boots against Ortiz. So I've got everything crossed, but there will come a point in the next couple of weeks where we'll have to make a move.
What are the options if it's not Ortiz?
I mean, look, you got obviously a huge fight for the division and for British boxing and us with Josh Kelly against Mertzalive. Josh Kelly's actually signed to fight Boots within his contract if he wins. So that would be a right result to see him come through, because that would be a huge fight.
Interesting. Very interesting.
You got Xander Zayas fights January 31st as well. Busy night, that is. I think Xander Zayas is the kind of guy that would accept the challenge. Then you've got Charlo outside of that. I think he's going to want a fight to come back to and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think, you know, the thing is with Virgil Ortiz is he's not a world champion, but we just feel like he's the best in the division outside of Boots. So we want that fight because we want to prove who the best is. But I don't know what he's going to do if he don't get the Boots fight. But listen, hopefully he wants to prove he's the best. And if he wants to do that, he'll fight Jaron Ennis.
All right. Shout out to Betfred for that. Shout out to Betfred for that. So what I thought was very interesting, and I actually agreed with him. I agreed with him in terms of, you know, we don't know what Virgil, like, you know, our options will probably be, you know, Josh Kelly if he comes off victorious against Bakram Mortazaliev. That's actually signed. You know what I mean? That if he beats Bakram Mortazaliev, that Boots will be next in line. You know what I mean? So that's pretty interesting. But I agree with him that we don't really know what Virgil Ortiz's options are if he were to go in a different direction. Like, what other big fight is there to make? You said Errol Spence. That's not – no. Motherfucker damn near retired from what we understand. That's not a fight that fans are demanding. You said Sebastian Fundora. He's not available. He's lined up with Keith Thurman right now. What do y'all have going on? The answer is nothing. The answer is nothing, and we know that. Eddie Hearn knows that. You feel what I mean? But I love the fact that Eddie Hearn put Boots in a power position. This is probably why Boots signed this extension deal with him, because he looks for Boots' best interest and is putting him in positions to do some great shit. Now, if Bakram Mortazaliev and Josh Kelly were to fight, I honestly got to study a little bit more on Bakram. I kind of got a feel for who Josh Kelly is and what he does in the ring. He did look sharp in camp, look fast, he even looked explosive a bit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know exactly how that fight is going to pan out. But if Josh Kelly comes out victorious, that should be what Boots is pulling for. He should be pulling for Josh Kelly, because if Josh Kelly wins, according to Eddie Hearn, that shit is signed, sealed, ready to go, and Boots is in a prestigious situation to win another world title at 154 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So I guess we'll see. That was some new information. I didn't hear Eddie Hearn say that before. I don't know if I missed the interview or two, but I'm pretty up to date with what Eddie Hearn has to say, and I never heard him mention that. So that's great, man. And that's probably why in the lead up to the Lima fight, Eddie Hearn named like the fight event like it's chess, not checkers, or some shit like that, or power moves. You had like the chessboard out there, and what it sounded like to me is that he's putting Boots in a position where he becomes the cream of the crop at 154 pounds. So great move. You know what I mean? Eddie Hearn did for Boots. And, I ain't going to lie. I kind of want Josh Kelly to pull that shit off now, just because I'm a fan of Boots. Y'all can call me biased, whatever the case is. But I would love to see Boots get another world title in another division, especially with how the way Oscar and Virgil acting, because they acting like they just so above Jaron Ennis that they just in a power position. And it's like, bro, y'all motherfuckers is on the same level in that division, bro. Y'all both got small titles. Like, cut it out, bro. But anyways, that was good to know. Didn't want to stick too long to that subject, but I just felt like that was important to put out there because I don't really see anybody speaking about that. So now the nation knows. Shout out to the 32 people that's in the building. Y'all go ahead, hit the likes, man. We about to touch on this final subject, and it's the fight that's going down tomorrow at the Barclays Center between Subriel Matias and Dalton Smith. I put my video out earlier about that whole situation. If y'all did not see that video, please go check it out, man. That's giving you my final prediction for the fight. You see what I'm saying? And I spoke about how these dudes looked on the scale, man. You know what I'm saying? I seen how the way these dudes looked on the scale. I'm going to share the screen for this one as well. I'm going to give you guys my reaction to how they looked. So, shout out to Fight Hub, man. Fight Hub puts out some quality fucking footage, man. I want to know what type of cameras they got over there at Fight Hub because that should be crystal clear. It'd be looking better than the network.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to bring up the main event of the evening, a world title main
You can see every crease on Jimmy Lennon's face. Let's go, champ. God damn.
event. 12 rounds for the WBC Super Lightweight Championship of the world. First, we invite the challenger, our visitor joining us from Sheffield, England. He is ranked the number 3 contender in the world. Here is the undefeated Dalton Thunder Smith.
My boy Jordan Sheriff in the building. Shout out to the boy. He said, damn, I respect Smith for still going ahead with this fight, to be honest. I actually, and I'll give him props for that too, but I actually had seen an interview from Eddie Hearn where he was pretty much talking about how they really ain't have no way up out of the fight anyway because you know, the New York State Athletic Commission and the WBC pretty much let the whole failed test, you know, slide. You know what I'm saying? He was saying, Eddie Hearn was saying basically how, like, in, you know, the UCAD, you know, the UK doping administration, whatever you want to call them, anti-doping agency, whatever the fuck they're called over there. No disrespect, but he was saying how, like, this shit went in that slid anywhere else, but in New York, you know, it did. So, you know, they don't really have like a solid reason to pull up out of the fight. He's pretty much said how they like stuck. And that's why Eddie Hearn in the whole press conference with Subriel and Dalton, he said, justice will be served. Justice will be served. And because he feels like an injustice was done with, you know, Subriel tested positive and shit like that and nobody doing anything about it. You feel me? But, you know, Eddie Hearn, he kind of a hypocrite in a way because, you know, when Conor Benn and all them, you know, people in his stable was popping dirty, you know, he defended them. He gave them the benefit of the doubt. But when your fighter from your stable is the motherfucking victim in this situation, now all of a sudden you just so against PEDs. It's like, just like all these promoters, you know, Eddie Hearn full of shit. That's all I'm gonna say. But let's carry on with the video.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is the defending world champion from Fajardo, Puerto Rico, the two-time world champion and the defending WBC Super Lightweight Champion of the world, El Orgullo de Maternillo, Subriel Matias. All right, 12 rounds of boxing, WBC Super Lightweight World Championship.
Now, mind you, this is a ceremonial weigh-in, so both of these guys look a bit more hydrated than they did with the real weigh-in. I'm going to try to pull up the video for the real weigh-in as well. But you can tell it was still a sacrifice for both of these guys to make weight.
Weight limit 140 pounds. First to the scale, the former British and Commonwealth champion, the current WBC silver and undefeated challenger, Dalton Thunder Smith. Dalton Smith weighs in at 139.6 pounds, 139.6. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's his opponent, the defending world champion, the hard-hitting WBC super lightweight champion of the world, El Orgullo de Maternillo, Subriel Matias. Matias weighs in at the weight limit of 140 pounds. 140 pounds for the defending world champion.
Subriel got some nerve to be doing this shit when he done caught a body and just tested positive for a PED. That motherfucker Subriel do not give a fuck, bro.
And our fighters ready to face off for this, the main event of the evening. 12 rounds WBC Super Lightweight Championship of the World. The final time they'll face each other until they meet in the center of the ring.
Yo, it is pretty interesting to see like Puerto Rico versus the UK. You don't really see that too often. You always see PR Mexico, Puerto Rico versus America, you know, the shit like that. You know what I mean? You don't really too often see Puerto Rico go up against the UK. So this is pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie.
Tomorrow night for the main event, Subriel Matias versus Dalton Thunder Smith. All brought to you by Juan Orengo's Fresh Productions and sponsored by Extra Vite Supplements and Vitamins.
Why does bald wee man looking motherfucker over here to the right keep talking shit to Subriel? That's what I don't understand, boy. You ain't got you an old ass man, nigga. You look like Humpty Dumpty, head mad long in the back, no facial hair, and you want to be talking shit. You barely got eyebrows, you bum ass nigga. What is you talking for?
We'll get a chance to hear from both of our fighters. Q&A session with boxing broadcaster Corey Erdman, along with the former world champion Raul Marquez.
All right, Dalton, it's been a long wait, a lot of turbulence leading up to this fight. Seems like emotions were getting a little high there during the stare down. What was being said back and forth?
Yeah, not much got said. You know, this is what we want. This is the energy we need. We've got the best fans in the world, the Brits traveling. Big love to the Puerto Ricans. Tomorrow we've got a fight, so tune in because it's going to be exciting. Let's fucking have it.
Shout out Ricky Hatton. If you know, you know.
Dalton, when you were 6 years old and you walked into the boxing gym for the first time and you were dreaming about what your first world title opportunity would look like, it probably looked a little bit like this, didn't it?
Like I said, I grew up watching the greats of Ricky Hatton and Joe Calzaghe, and tomorrow night I prove myself, and I belong in that era, in that legacy. So, you know, tune in. Tomorrow I become a world champion, and I can't wait.
If you're
Though his confidence comes across as very much real. I guess that's just what comes with being like an undefeated fighter and shit like that. Like, because your mind literally doesn't, you know, it may, you know, walk past that thought, but it doesn't really dwell on that thought because you haven't necessarily experienced it. You know what I mean? It's almost like when you that new motherfucker on the block doing your thing, you ain't never been booked and shit like that. You feel like you could get away with anything because, you know, it happened to everybody but you. So you have like this aura of invincibility. That's how I see professional fighters, especially when they haven't taken their first loss. Like, it hasn't happened yet. So, you know what I mean? They think they're the exception. So, not saying that Dalton's delusional or anything like that, but he comes across as very confident, and, you know, he should.
To do that, you would become the latest world champion from Sheffield, and I know you have a lot of people that made the trip here with you. What would it mean to you to add your name to that list, and what is your message to the fans back home?
You know, that I started it from 6 years old for that reason, you know, to reach the top in boxing. I'm not here to make up the numbers. I'm here to achieve a childhood dream, you know. And like I said, a big shout out to my supporters, to the Puerto Ricans. Tomorrow night, we're going to have a good fight.
All right, Dalton, best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, the champion. We'll have Raul Marquez translating here. Subriel, I'll ask you the same thing. It seemed like emotions were getting a little bit high. What was being said back and forth during the face-off?
You want to fight with me? You want to fight with me?
No, absolutely not, no.
Dice que muchas emociones, ¿verdad? Cuando se estaban poniendo frente a frente, ¿qué es lo que estaban diciéndose?
No, obviamente, ¿sabe? Mostrando ambos respeto, ¿sabe? Realmente ambos respetándonos y obviamente, ¿verdad? Complaciendo a mi fanaticada que mañana...
Well, this shit sound fucking lit. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, what the fuck? What is going on? I'm hearing all these people. Yo, the UK done came out for Dalton. Let me find out.
Quieren verlo no más día.
He said basically there was a lot of mutual respect between both of them, and as you could see, you know, you got the Puerto Ricans here for me, and you also got his people here for me too.
Subriel, all of the great Puerto Rican fighters have had their big main event moment in the Big Apple, guys that you looked up to growing up. How does it feel to have your main event moment in Brooklyn?
Todos los peleadores puertorriqueños, ¿verdad? Han tenido su momento, ¿verdad? Pelearon una pelea estelar. Este es tu momento ahora que vas a estar peleando en este nivel, una pelea estelar. ¿Cómo te sientes estar en esta posición?
Pues mira, para decir que valió la pena, tengo que hacer que se rajen. Y esa es mi meta mañana, complacer a mi fanaticada y hacer que él se quite.
He says, you know, this is a great honor to be here, you know, and be in this stage. And, but, you know, he needs to make a statement, and he's going to do it tomorrow.
Every time you step in the ring, fans are expecting a potential fight of the year. They're expecting knockouts.
Sí.
What can the Puerto Rican fans expect tomorrow night?
Cada vez que subes al cuadrilátero, los fanáticos pues piensan ver guerra porque saben cómo peleas. ¿Qué es lo que se espera mañana de Subriel Matias?
No más día.
There you go. He said it already.
All right. Best of luck, champ. Thank you very much.
Gracias.
Oh, that was the weigh-in. So, that was the weigh-in. Good weigh-in. Definitely had the crowd in there. The UK was in there popping off. Puerto Rico sounded like they had a little bit of a presence in there. Sounded like it was more UK people in there than Puerto Rican people. But we'll see on the night of the fight, man. That shit's going down in New York. You know, I think New York City has the most Puerto Ricans, you know, city-wise in the whole country. So, you know what I mean? I genuinely believe they'll be showing up as well, even if they, you know, come through last minute. The UK, shit, I can only imagine how many more are going to be flying in the day of the fight. So the UK going to be there supporting their boy Dalton Smith. That's why everybody loves the UK, because their supporters are unmatched. You know what I mean? Kind of gave like Ricky Hatton vibes when he fought Floyd. They said thousands of people flew in from the UK just to watch Ricky Hatton fight Floyd, and they made their presence known at the MGM Grand. So I love it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of controversy around this fight. You know, kind of tainted the fight, to be honest with you. I think that's why a lot of people, you know, waited out on buying the tickets. But nonetheless, the fight is here. They both made weight. Like Bella Faith has said, no repercussions for his actions whatsoever. I do disagree with that. I do think something should have happened. But, you know, like I said, you know, this is why I'm an advocate for fighters getting sued. This is why I'm an advocate for motherfuckers getting taken to court and getting their purses taken from them as a result of going against the grain and violating, you know what I mean, the ethics of boxing. You feel what I'm saying? So listen, man, I see my boy Ralphie. Ralphie had R3. My boy R3 actually has Dalton Smith winning. And from what I've been seeing, I actually saw that the odds are pretty close. So they're, the odds makers, the bookies, whatever you want to call them, they pretty much undecided on who they feel like is going to win this fight. And, considering the controversy and what Subriel probably went through psychologically, it may throw him off of his square. We really don't know. This may really affect him mentally, and he may get a bit emotional and abandon his game plan as a result of that. Or it could be a situation where this really enrages Subriel Matias and it takes him to a different level. We won't know because we never seen Subriel in this situation. This is probably the most he's been invested into a fight emotionally. You see what I'm saying? So, look, man, I watched Dalton Smith's fight with Jose Cepeda. I'm sorry. I seen a fight with Jose Cepeda, and Dalton does a lot of things well. And if you've seen the video I put out earlier, you already know what I'm about to say. He understands distance really well. He understands distance real well. He's really good at keeping guys behind his punches, at the end of his punches. Good counters when people try to close the gap. So, early on in the fight, I can see Dalton landing some little crafty counters, and he got some respectable pop as well. When I looked at his power, obviously I never been hit by him, but I do think it's safe to say he got like some sneaky power, like not no concussive one punch knockout power or anything like that. But if you lacking, if you fall asleep in there in terms of like losing focus, you get hit with a shot that could really catch your attention. You see what I'm saying? That's how I perceive his power, just looking from the outside. He got some solid fundamentals, some sharp combinations, decent hand speed. Fundamentals-wise, Dalton Smith is a pretty good boxer. But this is the problem from what I've seen. Minimal competition, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, Dalton Smith hasn't really faced the opposition that Subriel has faced throughout his career. I feel like Subriel clearly has the better resume. He has the better opposition. He's been tested more. You know what I mean? When we're looking at Dalton Smith and what he's done, he's beat a lot of guys that are UK level. You know what I mean? When he faced Jose Cepeda, that was the Jose Cepeda who I feel like his best days were behind him. You know what I mean? That's just my personal opinion. So there's not really much to go off of Dalton Smith's resume to reassure me, you know what I'm saying, that he has a chance against Subriel. Now, he may pull some shit out of the bag that we haven't seen before. Just because Dalton Smith hasn't shown these qualities doesn't mean that he doesn't have them. There are some people that keep their tools in the toolbox unless they have to use them. So, he may be that type of person. I don't know him enough to really say that. He doesn't. You see what I'm saying? But one thing's for sure, he hasn't faced anybody like Subriel in his professional career. You see what I'm saying? I personally think that Subriel is going to put Dalton Smith through some things that he's never felt in the ring before, not on a professional level. Another thing that I saw from Dalton Smith that was a bit concerning was he is a bit relaxed with his style. You know what I mean? He's a bit relaxed. He lets like the offense come to him. He doesn't really fight at a high pace. He's actually pretty economical, and I feel like that could be a huge problem going in there with Subriel, because one thing Subriel is going to do is make you fight, because either you're going to fight or he's going to fuck you up. So he's going to make you go outside of your traditional pace. I hope that Dalton Smith has prepared for that. I hope he's prepared to be able to throw punches consistently for 12 rounds, because if not, he could be in a shit ton of trouble with somebody like Subriel, man. Subriel is an expert at cutting off the ring. He gets stronger as the rounds go on. He's very heavy-handed. He goes to the body well. And whenever he punches in combinations, Subriel has some underrated hand speed. And if he catches you clean, he can actually hurt you with one shot as well. And he's one of the best finishers in the sport of boxing. So this is a tough fight for Dalton, man. You know what I mean? I don't want to necessarily count Dalton Smith out, but like I said, at the end of the day, he hasn't shown me anything to make me feel like, he's ready for Subriel, or that he's seen a style like Subriel. Subriel might have seen a few boxers with the capabilities of a Dalton Smith. You know, guys who like to use movement, you know what I mean? Guys who good counter punchers, guys who, you know, have great fundamentals. I don't know if Dalton has seen a guy with the pressure, the relentlessness, you know, the volume of a Subriel. And not only that, Subriel has he has a granite chin, bro. He has a granite chin. So it's going to be some things that Dalton's going to be going up against that we're going to see what he made of, man. You see what I mean? We're going to see what Dalton is made of because, you know, everybody that has beaten Subriel had a hard time beating Subriel. They had to go through some shit in order to beat him. You know, his first loss, you know, eventually, you know, Subriel got that back and actually knocked dude out. But Leon Paro had to show a lot of resiliency in there. He had to show mental fortitude. He had to show determination. He had to show dog. He had to be able to adapt. You know what I mean? He had to endure some things. Subriel was putting it on Liam Paro in them later rounds. And, you know, Liam, with the grittiness and, you know, discipline that he had, he was able to get through that roller coaster. Is Dalton Smith, with the current experience that he has in his career, does he have those capabilities? Is he able to adjust? Is he going to be able to weather the storm? He may get overwhelmed. He may get punished. He may get stopped. So taking all of these things into consideration, man, I can see Dalton Smith early on in the fight, you know what I mean, using a good jab with Subriel, making Subriel reset with the footwork consistently. I can see Subriel trying to close the gap and running into an uppercut or maybe, you know, a straight left hand, whatever the case is, might get Subriel attention with one of those shots. You know, I can see Dalton having some success early, but when Subriel starts to turn it up, you know, he's actually able to close the gap. I can see Dalton doing a lot of holding, you know what I mean, a lot of clinching. But one thing about Subriel is he finds ways to sneak those little body shots in there. And you know what I mean? When you got them 8-ounce gloves on, whether, you know, it's a big shot or a small shot, them shots to the body do start to accumulate. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about Subriel, you know what I mean? He may be losing the first 2 to 3 rounds, but you know what I mean? When shit starts to slow down a little bit and you're trying to reserve your gas tank, Subriel is firing on all cylinders. Are you going to be able to withstand that storm? If Dalton's able to do so, he can have a solid chance of winning. But if not, I think he gets added to Subriel's KO percentage. That's just my personal opinion. So you asking me, Mazuma TV, I actually have Subriel getting a stoppage with Dalton Smith between 9 to 10 rounds. You know what I'm saying? But I was gonna say 8 to 9, but I do think that Dalton's I think he's gonna be using his legs a lot in the later rounds. I mean, in the early rounds. So I can see like 3 to 4 rounds, you know, of shit going Dalton's way, and I just see shit going left from there. So I got a 9th to 10th round stoppage for Subriel Matias, man. I think it's either the corner's gonna throw in the towel or it's gonna be some type of referee interference. That's just my opinion. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, let me see exactly what the chat is talking about, because like I said, Ralphie says Matias has a chin, but he's been visibly hurt a few times. Yeah, but then he's never been stopped. You never seen this man hit the canvas. And to be honest with you, that just goes to show that Subriel Matias is battle tested. We haven't seen Dalton Smith, you know, face any type of adversity in his career. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't faced anybody great or elite. So, of course, you know, we don't really know what Dalton's made of. We know what Subriel's made of, though. And I think that's what gives Subriel the advantage. He knows what he's made of. Dalton Smith, in reality, you know, he could probably pretend that he a dog all he want, but he don't know how he's going to react until he goes through that experience. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that shit goes, man. I don't really have a horse in this race. I really don't care who wins. To be honest with you, I was rocking with Subriel heavy, but that Austrian shit, man, it kind of fucked with me. You know what I'm saying? It made me look at Subriel differently, and you know what I mean. It's like I low key want to just be like, all right, you know what I mean. It was contamination, but I just can't seem to put myself close to that opinion, because there's no way for Subriel to ever definitively prove that. So just as much as it may have been an accident, it may very well have been intentional. So that's the problem with testing positive for PEDs, man. It's like that's a stain that's gonna be on your jacket forever. So I don't have a particular horse in this race, bro. I don't. If Dalton Smith wins, the UK got a new star in the making. If Subriel wins, then he got a title defense under his belt, and he'll be lined up with Albert Puello in the near future, which is going to be a great rematch. But yeah, man, it is what it is. That's my prediction. I got Subriel stopping him within 9 to 10 rounds. Let me see. Bad Boom Balloon said Ryan versus Matias, but let both of them take Osterine. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Absolutely disgusting. Yeah, this car has been nonstop beeping for like 30 minutes, bro. That's annoying as fuck. Like, how can't, like, niggas in the bar or some shit? That'd be the dickheads like sitting in the passenger side of the car and he just letting that shit go off. Like, bro, niggas are idiots, bro. I swear to God, bro. I hate being in the hood around hood niggas, bro. They just so fucking ignorant. They so fucking dumb, bro. It's like they be just looking for somebody to say some shit to him. Swear to God, Philly full of fucking dumbasses. If my son wake up, bro, it's gonna be a huge issue. I'm telling you. Let me see. Shy Rider West Side in the building. He says salute Mazuma. If both of them on it, Matias obliterates Lion Ryan. Ain't that some shit? My boy Ralph in the building. He said I think Matias stops him in the 8th round. Ooh-wee. Well, I see some people, listen, man, them odds is close. So obviously there's a lot of people picking Dalton. There's a lot of people picking Matias. It's a good fight. You know what I mean? It wasn't a fight that we really wanted initially, but you know what I mean? We here. Dalton can present Subriel with some problems that he may have to get through early in the fight. And Subriel, maybe Dalton Smith's kryptonite. We won't know, but we definitely gonna figure that out tomorrow night. You feel what I'm saying? Ignorant ass motherfuckers, bro. Ivy Park 60 in the building said Matias in 6. Ooh, that's an early packing. That's the early packing. Shit. If he get him out in 6, that nigga Dalton did not belong in there with him, bro. Ain't no way. If you get packed in 6, you was not ready. Your training camp was not tailored for Matias. You did not train hard enough. That's just how I see shit. You know what I mean? You was just not built for him. And this motherfucker Dalton said he gonna be amongst the Kawasakis and the Ricky Hattons after this fight. That's some big shoes to fill there, brother. Especially when you unproven and only fought at a domestic level. That's some big shoes to fill, man. So, you know what I mean? We're gonna figure out what type of time Dalton Smith on. As soon as he get cracked in his shit or get hit with a good body shot, we're gonna see exactly what type of time Dalton Smith gonna be on. That's for sure. You know what I mean? But yeah. My boy Jordan Sheriff in the building said, what will be worse, an overpowered Austrian left hook or an Austrian 9-round heavy-handed beatdown? Bro, I'd rather just and I say this all the time, like for our sake, it's better for us just to get knocked out with one shot and call it a day in comparison to just getting beat on and beat on and beat on and beat on. You see what I'm saying? That's actually what be unaliving boxers, you know, in the sport. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, I would rather just get sparked. I mean, I wouldn't want neither one of them. And I've been fortunate enough to not be in that situation, thank God. But it can happen to anybody. And no, I'm sure we wouldn't want neither outcome. But if I had to choose, I'm getting sparked before I take punishment for 9 rounds. Because that's what like alters your life. You know what I mean? Your expectancy in boxing deteriorates significantly from taking, you know, punishment like that. So we'll see, man. I low-key want to go to Brooklyn too, but I'm not paying no fucking, because, you know, my birthday on Sunday, and it's technically the 10th right now, but I low-key want to go. I low-key want to slide to Brooklyn, bro. I low-key want to go to Brooklyn and get me a ticket to go watch that shit, man. I feel like that shit'll be lit, and as soon as the fight over, I just dip back to Philly, and man, probably get home probably 1:30, 2 in the morning. I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Kabiel fighting tomorrow too. That's right. My boy Egypt Kabiel fighting tomorrow. Actually, one of my favorite heavyweights, you know, on the scene right now. One of the most underrated and probably the most dangerous one outside of Alexander Usyk. You feel what I'm saying? I was just watching his fight with Julie Zhang a couple days ago. I put it in the group chat, and man, one thing that slept on about Kabiel, that motherfucker got a chin on him, bro. He has a chin on him. He took some heavy shots from Julie Zhang in the beginning, bro. You know what I'm saying? Well, throughout the fight, he got knocked down and all. Got up like nothing happened. He remained consistent, resilient, emotions unchanged, body language unchanged. Like, this dude, he's going to be a serious issue, man. And I see the dude that he's fighting right now. He's fighting like this younger Polish dude by the name of Damian Kanaiba. I believe that's his name. And he looked like he got a solid knockout ratio too. But, you know, I'm going to have to study, dude. I'm not going to say that Kabiel don't got nothing to worry about. But looking at this dude's box rec, I don't really see anything that's eye-catching. That's just me. I don't really see anything eye-catching. Look like he's beating, you know, like Polish. Oh, I seen this dude fight. He fought Joey DeWaco. Yeah, he fought on Danny Garcia undercard. Yeah, this dude is tall. He's rangy. He got some decent power too. So this is actually a good one. But I think Kabiel will break him down and beat him up. That's a slept-on fight. I was watching when I was riding back to the crib. Where the fuck was I coming from? I think I was coming from a fight. I was riding back to the crib. I remember watching the fight on my phone. And I'm like, oh, all right. Oh, all right, this is a good John. I see, yo, DeWaco doing all right. Yeah, I was like, DeWaco doing all right. And then the boys just start tattooing him. I'm like, oh, shit. Then he put Joey on the highlight reel. That was a bad John. So, yeah, the dude could fight. The dude could definitely fight. I knew he looked familiar by the picture, but I wasn't sure where. Then I pulled up his box record. I've seen it. So, yeah, the dude like the box, you know, keep people on the outside and shit like that. Got some decent, look like he got like that rubber band power. You know what I mean? It always be them tall, wiry motherfuckers that when they drop a punch on you, it'd be devastating. So, it's a good fight for Kabiel, but I think Kabiel breaks him down. I don't know if he got the endurance or the durability possible to withstand them body shots, man. Kabiel is a fucking savage. I like that guy a lot. Pause. So, yeah, man. R3 said, make the trip. Matias needs help with ticket sales. Shit. Bro, but I was looking. Let me see. Let's check Matias Dalton tickets right now. Let me see what they hitting for right now. Let's see. Oh, okay. Look like they done sold a few, huh? Look like they done sold a few tickets. Let's say, for instance, I want to go. Oh, wait, hold up. Hold up now. What them tickets at? Let me see something. Yeah, the ticket prices dropped, but still crazy. Like, I'm not paying $1,100. Nah, that's not happening. I'm not paying $1,100. I ain't paying none of that shit. You got me fucked up. Let me see. $500. $360 to be all the way in the back. Yeah, y'all niggas bugging. $97 for a motherfucking nosebleed. Shit, y'all niggas got me fucked up. I need to go ahead and get this channel, up to like 10K so they can start getting me credentials. Cause this shit right here, no, bro. This shit not it. There are cheap seats at the top. Bro, like I know, bro. Like I've been in the Barclays before, and I think the seats that we ended up, allegedly we ended up, going down closer towards the ring. But our seats was initially in the nosebleeds, bro. And it's like, bro, we watching the shit from the Jumbotron. Like, bro, for all that, bro, I should have just sat my ass home in the comfort of my own motherfucking home and just watch the fight, cuz like ain't no fucking point in for me to travel all the way to New York to go watch a Jumbotron, because when I look down, I got to squint to see Subriel punching on Dalton. No, we ain't doing that, cuz I stay home. It's cool. You know what I mean? Like, I got my son at the end of the day. I don't really like nobody watching my son for long amounts of time or anything like that, especially, and I never let nobody stay with my son overnight. That's not happening. So, I'm going to kick back. You know what I'm saying? When 12 in the morning hit, it'll be my birthday. Tomorrow, when it hit 12 in the morning, it'll be my birthday. I'll be laid up with my son on my birthday, and that's enough for me. That's enough for me. I'm not watching from the jumbo teach. I'm not one of them, brother. I mean, I'm not one of them. I'll be 28. I'll be 28 years old. I mean, we creeping up on 30, baby. Shout out to my old heads in the building. I mean, my OGs in their 50s. You know what I mean? My old heads in their 40s, the unks in their 30s, you feel me, man? Shout out to them, man. You know what I mean? I'm officially unk status, man. It's a beautiful thing. Not everybody make it this far. Now, I haven't made it to 28 yet. God damn it. Shit, we close. Our boy said he 35 going on 50. Shit. Oh, all right. So you so what you was born? You was born in 90. You was born in 1990. My sisters is only like I got twin sisters. They 5 days after me, and they'll be 35. Turned 27 3 days ago. Shout out to Junior, man. Happy birthday, brother. Belated birthday. You and a close friend of mine got the same birthday, I think. No, he the 4th. Never mind. You said 3 days ago, then what would that be? The 6th or the 7th? You say you 6 going on 7, man. Yeah, go ahead. 2 more days to your birthday. So what, you the 12th or you the 13th? Because it's 12 in the morning now, so technically it's the 10th. Oh, all right. Happy belated to the boy Junior, man. Beautiful thing, man. I mean, I had homies who ain't make it this far. I mean, motherfuckers I grew up with. You feel me? Like, I've been in a crib. I chilled with them outside of school. We did all types of shit together. Pause. And they no longer here with us, bro. You know what I mean? All types of unfortunate situations, I'm just glad that I've gotten this far, bro. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, all right, you January 12th. You the day after me. Mazuma got to wait 25 more years to qualify for the Jake Paul fight. God damn. Sheesh. I mean, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. Especially when Jake Paul come back off of this broken jaw shit. Oh yeah, he gonna take a light touch or two before he get into another big fight, bro. He not jumping back into that smoke. Anthony Joshua, you know what he gonna be like? You know what he gonna say? He's like, oh, well, I already proved to y'all that I'm a real fighter. I fought a real fighter. So, you know what? He gonna use that as a gateway to just fight whoever he want. Now I'm gonna just fight whoever I want and watch. August 8th, you're gonna be 27. That's what's up. That's what's up. Man, we all getting there, man. My son's birthday, June 12th. My son gonna be the big 3. He better run it back with Tommy Fury or something. Yeah, he should try to get that back. But apparently, he been trying to get that Tommy rematch. And Tommy don't want to rumble. He probably like, man, fuck you, nigga. Like, I got my dub over you. That's all I need. Yo, the bro, June 14th. My dad, June 1st. My dad is June 1st, and then my son is June 12th. So June is a good month for me. You know what I mean? My first son. My first, probably my only son. Who knows? Birthday in June 12th. A motherfucking June 12th of 2023, born at 10:12 p.m. 7 pounds, 1 ounce, you know what I'm saying? And then my father, June 1st of 1971. Because Tommy fumbled the Darren Till fight. Yeah, I don't think Tommy really cared too much about boxing. I think he just did it as a way to like get to some easy money. Like, yeah, like my last name famous. You know what I mean? I could ride off my brother coattail or whatever. You know what I mean? So I think he immersed. I was gonna say a mercenary, but I think he's like he a seasonal motherfucker. Like whenever he feel like doing boxing, he gonna do this. Whenever he feel like being on TV, he gonna do this. It just depends on how he feel. He conditioned. Nathaniel said, he'll pick me as a return fight for Jake. Facts. If I get in good shape, I get my legs right, that I probably outbox the shit out of Jake, bro. I ain't gonna lie, but that nigga big. I know he punching like a motherfucker, boy. Them small punches, them big punches, them punches from bigger men with small gloves, bro. That'd be a motherfucker. But if I get my legs right, I will box the shit out Tom Jake, bro. You ain't catching me with that bum ass overhand you always be throwing, bro. But I gotta be like, defense gotta be like perfect to not get caught one of them bombs. I think Jake gonna take his time coming back. I don't think he gonna rush. I think he gonna fall back until like he get the clear from his doctors to compete. He probably not gonna come back till like late this year or probably the top of 2027 to be real. Damn, but Nathaniel, you 240? What's your height? Hmm. 5'9", 240. Oh, this nigga a Mack truck. But you better get some of that weight up off you, brother. Balloon said apparently Tate activated his rematch clause against Chase Demore. Bro, moving like he had the WBC. Bro, listen, man. I seen that fight because I ain't gonna lie. I thought Tate was gonna whoop him. I really thought Tate was gonna whoop him, but Tate was completely out of shape. Chase Demore was too big, too physical, like too much for him. Anonymous said, "How you got Munguia Resendiz playing out?" That's a good fight. I heard they in negotiations and shit like that. That's gonna be a war, man. But Jaime Munguia, we gotta see what type shit he gonna be back on, man. Because I don't know. I ain't hear from the motherfucker since he touched positive. Yeah, I mean, you got your get back against Bruno Sarase. Whole time he was dirty when you fought Sarase, but they let you rock for some reason. The fact that fight didn't get reversed to a new contest is very disgusting in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, Armando Resendiz, that'll be a good fight, man. I really feel like Armando has a good chance in that fight. I think as long as he makes it like an inside fight and he comes with that same conditioning that he had with the Caleb Plant fight, he can land some big shots on Munguia. Munguia's defense is absolutely trash. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna come down to who's more active. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna come down to who's the more conditioned fighter, because you already know they're gonna be in the phone booth just bombing away. But for some reason, I really feel like Resendiz is the bigger puncher. It just seemed like his punches got a bit more respect on it. You feel me? So I don't know. I think that's a fight that is gonna really come down to who in better shape, who more active, who letting go more punches. That's how I see that shit happening. You planning to reach 195 this year, bro? Get it done, bro. Take care of your health, brother. T said you have Munguia. Okay. Yeah, he declined the Iglesias fight. But he probably, I mean, listen. That kid, I was like, he looks very fucking dangerous, right? That's probably not a style that Jaime want to deal with. But if you got the IBF right here that comes with a rehydration clause, and then you got somebody that has more of a favorable style for you, Amanda Resendiz, and it's for a world title too, which one you gonna go towards? You gonna go towards the Resendiz one? I ain't really mad at him for that. It ain't like Jaime Munguia turned down, Iglesias to go fight a fucking turkey. But we gotta see what type of time Jaime on, because I don't know. I think Jaime a bit. I think he's scarred from that Bruno Sarase knockout. I think that's what made him take the PEDs. You know what I mean? He ain't like he wanted to enhance his performance. You know what I mean? So he won't repeat the same performance he had in the first Bruno fight. Getting knocked out like that in front of your hometown and shit like that, that could be very traumatic. And I think that's what called for him to use performance enhancement drugs, because he didn't want the same thing to happen again, even if it meant him being caught cheating. That's just what I think. Ooh, how you see that? Smith Morrell fight going? That's supposed to happen this month. That's gonna be a banger, bro. That's really gonna be a banger. Shit, Smith got a nasty left hook, man. I like how the way he let that shit go to the head and the body. Morrell, he don't mind being in firefights. That's gonna be a good one, bro. I don't know. Morrell looked kind of funny against Katiev, man. A lot of people thought he lost to Katiev. Smith, he looked. He fought Bouassi? Was that Bouassi that he fought? I think that's the last time that I've seen him fight. Let me check. Haven't seen him fight since then. I know Callum Smith had ducked that motherfucking David Benavidez smoke, but he put on a good performance against Bouassi, bro. You know what I mean? He was able to get that unanimous decision over him. Yeah, that was Bouassi. So I like that fight. I think that's a good back and forth type, John. I really don't know, man. I really don't know. I think Morrell, I don't know why, but Morrell, it seemed like his power kind of changed going to 75. I don't know, maybe because these dudes' punch resistance is greater because they bigger, they boiling down from bigger weights. I don't know, bro. Because basically, like a lot of these motherfuckers that's fighting at light heavyweight, they walking around as heavyweights. So maybe that's the case. So I think that's why their power just is drastically different. You know, obviously, I'm going to pull for my Cuban brother, David Morrell. Callum Smith, he is a good fighter. He got some respectable pop. He's a big, he's a bigger guy. They both coming from 68 to be real, but Callum Smith a big motherfucker, bro. Like when I was watching a fight Canelo, I said, "Oh, this is a big motherfucker right here, boy." You know what I'm saying? Canelo was able to break him down with the experience and shit like that. But Morrell crafty, man. Morrell got some good skills. I'm rooting for Morrell. Hopefully Morrell get a good win on his resume because the way he been running straight into the smoke, you gotta give me props, bro. You gotta give me props. But when you're looking on BoxRec, it don't even have a fight announced on there. So I wonder what's going on with that. I wonder how Smith would approach someone like Morrell. Shit. Morrell, you can't get too greedy with a motherfucker like Morrell. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to, get your shots and make Morrell reset. Get your shots, make Morrell reset. Because the mistake that David Benavidez was doing was he would sit on the center line just a little too long, and they get into an exchange or something, and Morrell will bomb on him. Boom! Hit him with a right hook or whatever the case is. So if I'm Callum Smith, I'm avoiding as many 50-50 exchanges as possible. I'm trying to be first as much as I can and get up out of the way. I would even want to be third because I would even want to be first and third with somebody like David Morrell. I would try to be first, make a reset. First, make a reset. But does Callum Smith have the conditioning? Does he have the discipline necessary to do that for 12 rounds? I don't know. Baboon said, I just want to see David fight Bivol or Better Beef already. Pissed we didn't get the Canelo fight. Yeah, that was, but it just seems like a lot of this shit is out of David Benavidez's hands. So are we really about to, I can't even be mad at him. He wants these fights, but they just don't seem to be lining up for him right now. He won the Canelo. Canelo ain't want nothing to do with him. He talking about he wanted $200 million for Benavidez. They offered Benavidez a flat rate of $5 million. He accepted. They still ain't want to fight. They try to pull his card, and he obliged them. They didn't want to fight. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know I'm tired. I done forgot what the fuck I was saying. But yeah, with David Benavidez, like he's trying. You know what I'm saying? Like he tried to get that fight. Canelo ain't won it. He moved up to 75 for more opportunities. He got some good wins. You know what I mean? The Dick John, that was a good win. His debut at 75. Morrell, that's a good win. You know what I mean? He beat Anthony Yard. Those are good wins, but they're not great wins. You feel what I'm saying? So he on the type of time where it's like, bro, I'm not about to sit here and hope that a motherfucker give me an opportunity. I'm just, you know what I mean? Like I got to go wherever the opportunities are. So if he had 175 and a nigga was willing to give up a belt not to fight him, but you got somebody that, you walk around heavy. Morrell walks around heavy. Benavidez, he walks around heavy. So he probably thinking like, man, I could fight at cruiserweight. And Zordo like, yo, we can rumble. Let's get something popping. Mexico versus Mexico. You know what I'm saying? And this is I think Zordo got a couple belts. Ain't he unified at cruiserweight? If that's the case, why wouldn't you chase being a unified champion? I know I ain't tripping. Yeah. He got the WBA and the WBO. So if that's the case, you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you go for that? If you want big fights and you can't get them at 68, can't get them at 75, and you got history with the guy that you about to face, you know you could beat him. Why wouldn't you take the opportunity? Because from what I heard Benavidez is punching on Gilberto. So he probably like, shit, it's a unification fight. Mexico versus Mexico, this could be a big money fight. And I know I could beat him just by, I know this guy because we sparred on multiple occasions. Oh, yeah, we going to get it popping. Not saying that Benavidez looks at it as easy, but he knows that it's winnable. But on some real shit, after that Gilberto fight, I want him to go back down to 75. Come on, man. Like, this, like, I understand the Jai Opetaia fight is there, but Opetaia might have to consider going up to heavyweight because that motherfucker can't seem to get an opportunity from the current champions in his division. So what you gonna do? You gonna stick around at cruiserweight just hoping that one of these guys fights you? Or you gonna make a move? Because there's a lot of smoke at heavyweight, man. You got some upcoming motherfuckers that might have to see you. You know what I mean? You got Moses Atama around. You got Cabiel waiting around. You got Fabio, Joseph Parker. When he done snorting that coke, he gonna be available. Yeah, I mean, you get you, Jaron Miller getting himself back in the mix. Andy Ruiz, I heard he trying to come back. Wilder still around. Usyk, he most likely gonna be out of here soon. But shit like that. You feel what I mean? Let me see. My boy Anonymous said, "Who retires in 2026?" It's a good question. Usyk, I think he retires because from what I heard, after he fight Wilder, he said he done. I think Manny Pacquiao retires in 2026. I think after 2026 he's gonna be done. Maybe Nodito Donaire. I think if Wilder loses to Usyk, I think he's gonna retire. Possibly Anthony Joshua. Who else? I don't know. Hopefully, Lara did not look good, bro. He did not look good. I think Lara gonna end up being one of them motherfuckers that stick around too late. You can just tell Lara love the game. I love the game. I love the hustle. Canelo, that's possible. That's very possible. That Crawford fight might have made him reconsider some things. If Canelo don't retire this year, he definitely retiring next year. That's just my opinion. I think he's gonna have a whole retirement rollout. I don't think he's just gonna walk away suddenly. I think he's gonna be like, all right, well, I'm gonna retire at this time, so let's get it popping. So yeah, that's a few people. That's a few people. But man, Lara looked horrible, man. I'm just glad he didn't fight John Beck that night. Disrespect to Lara, bro. He older man. You know what I'm saying? He was able to beat dude off experience. You know what I'm saying? Landed the cleaner, harder punches, but man, he just looked fatigued and he looked like Father Time caught up to him. So if I'm Lara, bro, I'm like, listen, man, I done been a part of some big fights. Fought Prime Jerry Hurd. I fought Castano. I fought Canelo Alvarez. I fought Paul Williams. I fought Alfred Angulo. Like, Lara really got a fucking resume. Danny Garcia. This man done fought Canelo brother. That nigga even fought Ramon Alvarez. This man done fought everybody in their mind, bro. You feel what I'm saying? He had a hell of a career, bro. I think he probably the greatest Cuban professional boxer of this era, probably all time in the pros. Not talking about the amateurs. Who's the greatest? Vanez Martirosyan. That's another one. That was a good one. Who they consider the greatest Cuban pro of all time? Jose Napoles and Kid Gavian. So they bringing up the amateurs and shit like that. Whatever. There's some great ones. I think it said William Skull. You need to go sit down. Baboon tripping. But Arislandi Lara had a great career. Definitely a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? 2-division champion, was the oldest active champion during his time. Like, and I think one of the most underrated, underappreciated fighters in the last decade or so. That's just my opinion. Like, within the last decade, I think Arislandi Lara, he really stood the test of time, bro. Like, he outlasted all his peers, the ones that came before him and after him. So, you know, much kudos to Lara. Where do I rank Gamboa? He up there, but his reign wasn't. I think his reign was relatively short, man. Like, good wins, he won world titles and shit like that, but I don't know. I just think from a longevity standpoint, I think Lara got him. But Gamboa is really flawed too, man. Defense, ass. He ain't had the best chin. He had good power, good speed. I mean, explosive. But who becomes a champion in 2026? I think Jaron Ennis becomes champion in 2026. I think yo, shout out to Tifo Burlton, bro. He got ranked number 5 in the WBA at light heavyweight. My boy Tifo Burlton, somebody that used to train with me. Yeah, I mean, I helped. I'm not gonna say I was his trainer. I assisted him. You know what I mean? I assisted him with whatever he needed. It's beautiful to know that there was a point in time where I was helping a top 5 contender of the world. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing, man. Shout out to Tifo Burlton. We gotta bring him back on the channel. That's a beautiful thing. I think let me see what y'all saying. Najee Lopez, a bad motherfucker, boy. That boy Najee could rumble. That boy Najee could rumble. Not Jagar Najee talk. You know what I mean? We're not talking about Jagar talk. We're talking about Najee Lopez. I mean, not from Jagar talk. We're talking about Najee Lopez. But Anonymous said Bruce Carrington, absolutely. Bruce Carrington. I see Jaron Ennis becoming champion once again. I see Shakur Stevenson beating Teofimo, so I think he becomes champion again. Who else? Shit. If Liam Paro gets that title shot against Crocker, I got Liam Paro. Shit. Who's a top-rated contender right now? Shit. I don't know. Hamza Shiraz? Possibly. Or maybe it'll be Diego Pacheco. Yes, sir. Gamboa beat Salido, Ponce de Leon, Rocky Martinez, and Jorge Solis. Those are his best ones. Yeah. Damn, Salido is a fucking vet, bro. That motherfucker fought everybody in his mom. Bro, I wanted to see Wasn't they, tell me if I'm tripping. Wasn't they looking for Gamboa and Mikey Garcia to fight at one point in time? Or was it Gamboa? No, I think it was Gamboa and Juan Manuel Lopez. Yeah. I remember Puerto Rico was hype behind that fight, bro. Oh my God. They wanted to see Juan Manuel Lopez versus Gamboa so bad. Yeah, bro, that shit. They never made that shit. That was sad. I think Salido fucked the plans up. Then Salido beat the dog shit out of Wama. And that shit foiled everything. Yeah, he beat the dog shit out of him. Yeah, I know that's what happened. Salido done fucked a few niggas' plans up, bro. Salido was a resilient motherfucker. Salido had a shit ton of losses, but that boy, that's not a motherfucker. See, that's the last nigga I would want to fight. That's the last motherfucker. Like a nigga with, I'm gonna tell y'all niggas something. Look at this shit right here. A nigga with this motherfucking head shape is not a nigga you want to fight. A nigga with a traffic cone shaped skull, that nigga could take infinite punches. If your head is shaped like an uppercase A, there ain't no reason why you should be fighting a nigga like him. Like that motherfucker, he don't feel pain. The nerves in that nigga's skull been gone since birth. Any nigga head who's shaped like this cone head motherfucker Salido. You know when a baby first was born and they got that cone head, like his head just stood like that. They ain't ever put the hat on his head or nothing. His shit was just like that, straight up cone head. See, that's the nigga you don't want to fight. That nigga Salido, they used to try to, and sometimes niggas stepped on him. Like Mikey, before Mikey got that technical decision, Mikey was fucking him up. That shit was gonna go left. But he got stepped on a couple times, but one thing he did do was fuck some shit up. Like he done packed niggas for thinking he was sweet. Feel me? Like I remember he beat up Orlando Cruz. I remember that shit. I remember watching that shit because he was like that first openly gay boxer from Puerto Rico and all that. It was bad. They really thought Orlando Cruz was gonna do something, man. Salido beat the fuck out of him. Then he went and he fought the 1-0 Vasily Lomachenko, the guy who's the greatest fighter since Ali, and turned that nigga 1-1. Ain't that some shit? And he was overweight. That's what they saying right here. Yeah, I remember that. He was overweight. Nigga fought Lomachenko dirty as hell. Then yeah. That's funny. Trying to tell you, motherfucker who head shaped like this ain't got nothing. His sole purpose on earth is to fuck your day up. That's his sole purpose. That's the nigga that you try to get a parking spot at Walmart. You beat the nigga for the parking spot. Now he won't rumble. This nigga got a dirty tank top on, some cargo shorts with some thong sandals. Oh yeah, that's Salido hopping up out the car. And you think he about to wash him too, because he a little nigga. Old time, this nigga about to put belt the ass. And he gonna do whatever to win the fight. You gonna have to choke this nigga. He don't even look like he got a neck, so you can't even do that. This nigga's a motherfucking pest. That's what the fuck he is. Fuck all that. Lorenzo said Salido dog walked that Pato Sucio. Yo, this nigga's out of pocket. Yeah, bro. Yeah, Salido is a motherfucker. Salido, he fucked up that whole Gamboa Wama fight. I remember that. The nigga nickname was Siri too. All that shit meant was that nigga had the answers. That's all that shit meant. I said, why they call you Siri? Because nigga, I got the answers for you, nigga. I was like, I got the recipe for you. Whatever you need, I got, nigga. Whatever questions you have, I'm gonna answer, nigga. Just like Siri. Fuck is you talking about? But anyways, I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love to the channel. As always, if y'all can go ahead and hit the like button on the way out, that'll be very much appreciated. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,300 mark. Looking to hit that 3,400 mark in due time. I'll be back at y'all on my live fight commentary for Subriel Matias versus Dalton Smith, man. Be on the lookout for that. Until then, hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.